Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video we're going to make brown stew chicken wings. This is prior to a vlog I did recently on my channel, which I will also link in the description box below. Before we get started, go ahead and subscribe and let's get into this delicious video. So first, please make sure to have your chicken clean. Mine is already freshly washed with some vinegar. You can also use some lime. I'm using some mixed up chicken wings, so some drumsticks and, chicken wings. I'm going to use some garlic powder first. And then we're going to go ahead and use some combo seasoning. The combo seasoning is from Ocho. I will probably link a description of the seasoning I will probably list what I use in the description box below if I don't forget. After that, we're going to use some chicken seasoning as well, which is also from Ocho or Ochos Rios. So I did a vlog previously and I did share my video, and I wanted to keep that as a separate vlog because this is my first cooking tutorial on my channel that a lot of people have been asking me to have on my channel. So here's the first one. I did use a lot of red cayenne pepper because I didn't have any Scotch bonnet pepper at the time, but you guys can use anything that you want. I love spicy food, so the spicier the better for me. All right, and once we're done with the seasoning, just make sure you mix up the seasoning together to prepare it for the browning that we're going to use. I used the browning. I decided to use some pimento seasoning. It kind of gives it a little sweet taste or flavor with the browning. Nothing special. And then with the browning, this bottle is from Grace. I did use about 2 corkscrews for now. And then I'm going to mix it using a spoon. I didn't have any gloves to mix it with because I didn't want the browning to be all over my hands. So I did use a spoon. I would prefer if you used your hands because, you just kind of make sure everything gets combined together and all that good stuff. So, yes. Next, I'm cutting up all of the seasoning that we're going to also be using for the chicken as well as the quinoa. I'm just pre-preparing it to wash the seasonings that we're going to use. So I just chopped up some garlic, green pepper, red pepper, some orange pepper, as well as some scallion and some onions, and just, cut them up and prepare them for our meal. Measurements when I cook. I really just eyeball it, so honestly you won't expect any measurements here on my video. Maybe it's about 1 tablespoon, I don't know, but just enough, not too much. And then we're just gonna pour our seasoning that we chopped up together and just stir it up a little bit. And then, you know, just add some black pepper and some Mrs. Dash with no salt. I like to make sure that I'm not using a lot of salty products when I cook. The fresh, well, better fresh than salty, because, you know, if it's fresh, you can always go back and add like a little bit of flavor to your food. So that is why I add some salt-free Mrs. Dash to the seasoning. And then I also added another corkscrew of browning as well to the seasoning before we go ahead and add the chicken. Sure to stir up the seasoning for about 1 to 2 minutes before we go ahead and add the chicken inside the pot. The pot that I'm using is a Dutch pot. Well, we call it a Dutch pot. I'm not sure if anybody else call it something else, but it's a Dutch pot that I'm using. Now, once you add the chicken into the pot, I went ahead and add some water in the container that had the chicken and still has all the flavor. And just pour some water in there, not too much, but just enough to cook down the chicken, and stir it up a bit. And we're just gonna let it cook for about 30 to 45 minutes. In between those time, you'll just, you know, check the chicken, make sure the water is not evaporating, and just stir up the chicken in the meantime. Now I have my garlic. Look at that beautiful color, y'all. It's the color coordination for me when you come up with the seasonings, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and brown the garlic first. Well, before we do that, I did use some olive oil, and then we're gonna use the garlic first to brown it up a little bit before we add the peppers. I guess we're just gonna call this seasoned peppered quinoa or something. I don't know, just something to make it fancy. I just didn't want the quinoa to, you know, be really plain and stuff like that. I'm still getting used to making quinoa, and I do enjoy using it. So yeah. All right, so once the garlic is brown, or not too brown enough, we're gonna go ahead and add all of the peppers and stir it up. And make sure, I did add some salt and pepper into the seasoning as well too. Around, you're gonna go ahead, and I used about 2 cups of quinoa, and then I used 2.5 cups of water, just to make sure that, you know, the quinoa doesn't cook very soft. I know I said I don't cook with measurements, but I wanted to be accurate with the quinoa, okay? Right. After we pour some water into the pot, go ahead and stir it up and cover it and let it cook and simmer down until it is ready. In the meantime, while the chicken and the quinoa is done, we're going to go ahead and cut up or prep our vegetables. I'm going to use Brussels sprouts. Typically, I hate Brussels sprouts, but a part of me is, my friends convinced me to give it another try. I decided to cook some Brussels sprouts, and because I had the vegetables in my fridge and I didn't want it to go bad. So that's really why I even decided to use Brussels sprouts. And prior to this video, I did not know that you're supposed to cut them in half, cut off the stems. My friends were really trying to tell me what to do, but they taste good at the end of the day. So for the Brussels sprouts, they're already properly washed. Please make sure to wash your vegetables, okay? The Brussels sprouts is already washed, and so I'm going to go ahead and roast them on 400. The oven is already preheated to 400 degrees, so I'm going to roast the Brussels sprouts. All I did was added some avocado spray oil, some salt and pepper and garlic powder. I'm going to mix it all up and just put it in the oven for it to roast for about 15 to 20 minutes. Also make some garlic parmesan green beans because I didn't want these to go bad as well too. So the butter that I'm using is a garlic butter. It's a garlic Irish butter. I love using this butter because it just gives your food such nice flavors. So yes, again, the green beans is washed. All I did was added some salt and pepper, a splash of garlic powder. Stir it up together and let it simmer and let it cook for about 10 minutes. I like my green beans not too soft because I also like it crunchy. All right, guys. Now, once everything is done, look at that steam, guys. Look at that steam. Y'all don't play with me, okay? Don't play with me. Anyways, look at that nice steam. I made some garlic parmesan, green beans, brown stew chicken wings, which turned out so good. I wish you guys could taste it. Better yet, smell how good the food was smelling that day. But anyways, the quinoa also turned out nice, as well as my roasted Brussels sprouts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video.